Gotta pull up the cam. Or gotta pop it out. How do I do that now with the new... Oh, there it is.
Harry, are you gonna be able to stream without Oh, well, I assume you're in Utah right now, right?
Yeah. Yep, I am able to
Okay,
stream.
okay, we're good.
Yes, he has chosen to be absent at an opportune moment. Not really, but... welcome, guys, to, session 85, Tragedy of War. Oh, I gotta do that. Go.
Alright, Jack, you know what we must do.
What is it, David?
We must complete the cycle and hogtie and ball gag Rolland.
Okay. The thing that he hates most.
Exactly.
Or likes most.
I'll allow it. Last session was session 84, Tragedy of War. Let's do a quick recap so that everybody's caught up. Last time on Tragedy of War. The session began with the alarm of the Warforge sounding due to the faithful few getting detected. Warforged sentries and surveyors alike began descending upon this backroom office where the faithful few had gathered to attempt to revive the begrudging soul of Nikolai Vitali. Bosong immediately leapt into action, spending most of his time plugging up one of the main hallways that led to this backroom office. Unfortunately, there were a few other methods of that were employed by the Warforged to reach their position, which the other members of the Faithful Few basically had to deal with. And after a little bit of time passed, Khanek and Rolland decided they should go after the dwarf they saw on the other side of the compound while they were undetected. So Rolland grabbed Ocerus and cast Dimension Door to bring them to the other side of the compound. And then Khanek did the same thing and offered to bring Bosong with. But Bosong was set on continuing his sentry bot rampage in the main hallway. When the others arrived on the far side of the compound, they realized the dwarf had in fact been waiting for them. He released a Warforged Leviathan upon the faithful few, then grabbed his necklace and cast Word of Recall, speaking the word Algurin, which, as Khanek understood, means Sanctum in Dwarvish. And so the dwarf teleported away, and the faithful few were left in the middle of an oracle, a leviathan, and a slew of sentry and surveyor warforged. At this point, despite the circumstances that they found themselves in, they resigned to fight their way out. And they did, but not without some close calls. The song was nearly killed a second time after being brought back to life by his belt. Ocerus was 1 foot in the grave, nearly killed after selflessly putting his resources toward keeping Rolland alive. And what faithful few remained were badly injured. The session ended with the faithful few inside of a now empty Warforge. Whether or not their presence had been noted by more than just the Warforged of this location had yet to be seen. So, you guys are back inside of this Warforge, where evidently the dwarves mass-produced their Warforged armies. Everyone make me a history check.
I'm good at these, for sure, for sure.
Yep. I know nothing of this place.
Yeah.
Well, I do.
Music's gonna
You're the only one that's probably good at history checks.
Ricky, I know about this place.
Not, so, what you know about war forges, because this is actually one of many. The map is just dramatically titled. There are many of these compounds throughout the Kingdom of Sanctum, and now that the battle has died down and you're not getting shot at, you have some time to think for a second, Khanek. And you know that these facilities were inactive for centuries. There was no reason for the Warforged to, well, they became inactive when the dwarves became dead, and the Warforged just never, it wasn't within their understanding to create more of themselves, and there wasn't a need really for them to create more of these soldiers, because in the everlasting conflict, it was the Warforged would only get involved as needed, if that made sense, which led to very few losses on their side. So the fact that this facility is up and running again in the first place is like
Bad juju.
bad juju for sure. But yes, you're all surrounded by these dead, inanimate constructs, and the dwarf that was here previously, seemingly operating the facility, has since vanished.
I thought all the doors were dead.
Yes. 50-50.
If he knew we were coming, I'm surprised he did nothing else to us. Shocking to say the least.
Had to be undead. Couldn't just be a normal living dwarf. How am I supposed to eat him now?
Yeah, the way he was
Eat him,
looking.
that's your first concern, is eating him?
I'm curious.
He's never had
I'm
dwarf
curious
meat.
about many things, but eating people is not one of them.
Well, that's the thing. I don't consider him people.
What do you consider people? Then you eat a lot of things.
be grateful I consider you people Ocerus.
It is a good question, though. You have consumed sentient beings, although somewhat monstrous. It is an interesting perspective, of course.
It's all relative.
Exactly. I'm asking where your line is. It is all relative. Bosong.
You not get sick?
Nope. Even before I got the thing that makes me immune to disease, I had a pretty iron stomach.
Your constitution is quite impressive, besides the point. Eating dragonborn, I figured they'd carry wild diseases we're not even aware of.
Really? I just thought of them as oversized lizards.
Exactly, you don't know what a wild lizard may have in their system.
I mean, by that logic, every wild animal is dangerous to consume.
Correct. You never know.
I don't know, I think roasting... Yeah?
Do all Iganong eat people? Is this like a culture custom?
So...
Or is this just a Bosong thing?
It's traditional, but Bosong takes it to the extreme.
Gotcha. Like he really enjoys it.
Like for the others, it's more of a do it out of necessity when food is really in short supply type thing. For Bosong, it's more of a, yeah, why not?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Rolland, you are uncharacteristically quiet.
I kind of like it.
Perhaps he's taking in
He's like,
the situation at hand. Rolland, it was your idea after all. Where do we go from here?
Roland's just dissociating. He's just staring at him.
Rolland is seems to be we'll say he's patching up some of his bullet wounds. But
Well,
he would mention out of character. Well, no, in
herein
character.
lies a decision we must. Oh, okay, sorry.
But he'd mentioned that there was a that when he went out in terms of where to go, he went out the back of the compound and he saw a very troubling sight. These titans that were described on the chalkboard of the backroom office. They are in the mountains that you are also within. But they appeared inert. He'd fill you in on that.
Herein lies a question, Rolland. Now that the dwarves know we're here, is it truly safe for us to jump right into the capital? It was our original plan, however. Wouldn't you say it's likely they have something ready for us?
Roll an insight check, Khanek. Okay. You would be absolutely floored if they weren't sending Warforged to come get you right now.
I would be floored if they weren't sending Warforged to get us right now, in fact. We must make with haste.
Given
The question is, where do we go? We don't have a
Exactly.
guide.
Rolland was
I've
the one
never
who
been
saw
there.
on the cliff. He said he knew where to go.
Do you know how to fly one of those airships?
I can certainly
Absolutely
try.
not.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to travel by land in this place.
I don't want to
And-
travel at all in this place. I was hoping we'd teleport in and end it right away.
Will's like,
Yeah, I
"We
know,
have
that
to
was
shut up."
It's either we stay here and probably die as they're sending an army after us, or we leave, either by land or by airship.
Oh, you know what? Given your nat 20, Khanek, we'll actually say you even get a little bit more specific information since you have premonitions.
Yeah.
We'll say you receive a short premonition in assuming that there is going to be something coming after you, and what you see as your eyes glaze over momentarily is the... Well, which character would you see? You would see Monarch sending, looking a little different than the last time you saw her, might I add.
I've never seen Monarch.
Well, yes, I suppose so, but I guess out of character. And you would
Be something. I'm a golden machine, unlike anything else we've seen before.
and there is as your premonition kind of zooms out, you realize that she's surrounded by these silhouetted warforged. Seems to be a band of them, roughly 10, and they all carry very long projectile apparati, and you recognize their shape and their form to be that of an assassin warforged that you first saw in Safeguard. The one that executed the prophet.
Spend more of those assassin warforged at us. A premonition. It's likely.
How do the assassins differ from the regular ones?
Their guns are stronger and they kill quicker. How about that? But they're quite easy to kill themselves. We need to be on high alert.
These things are
fair
tanks. I'm gonna be so annoyed with each other. It's good, like
If these things are tanks, yeah.
Rolland, how are you gonna fix this, Rolland? Okay. So what's the plan? We gotta leave.
Rolland will push himself up after tending to his wounds and say, and he'd instruct you all to follow behind him, and he would stop at the junction between, kind of like going more toward the back of the compound where he came from, or toward the flying machine, unless you'd like to try your hand at piloting that vehicle.
I'm gonna check the surveyor real quick. They got any trinkets on him?
Roll investigation.
Yippee!
Harry, I'd like to go investigate the purple energy area and the switches around there.
Yes. Oh yeah, and at this point we'll say that the alarm stops flashing. There we go.
It's a shiny looking
11.
crystal over here too.
You would, I mean, there's a number of broken bits and pieces of this Warforged that are potentially salvageable, but nothing that is intact remaining for you to take. I mean, you'd probably be able to pick up like one of his guns or something, but yeah.
Yep. Yoink.
There's plenty of guns littered throughout this place, so you'd probably be able to pick up one or two, or however many you guys wanted to.
I start loading. What's this crystal?
I'm a harbinger with a gun.
It's like a power crystal.
Harbinger. Will is tonal thematic whiplash. So that is actually the mechanism that Jack has approached while
I
you're
see.
looting.
Okay,
so
that's all his.
we'll say that Jack, you walk up to this thing and it's that is the mechanism that the dwarf, prior to teleporting away, that he activated or deactivated, and it released the Leviathan from this room. Now it looks like the room is empty. There's no Warforged in there anymore. And the machine is inactive at the moment.
I try to reactivate the machine.
Okay. let's see. Yeah, go ahead and make me a... Is there a check for this? Something like this.
Yeah, penis check.
Arcana?
Yeah, let's say Arcana. It's close
I
enough.
better hope no more Warforged come because I'm quite low.
I think all of us are low.
I mean, I'll.
Will, did you level up though?
Uh,
We're 19 now, so
I'm
maybe
19,
just a
yes.
little. Okay, cool.
That's how I have 11 hit points. I think I was 0 when I was unconscious at the end of the last session.
That'll do it.
I was stable, but
Yeah, so with your Arcana check, Khanek, you are able to uncover how the mechanism works, which is apparently you see almost like a handprint sensor in the corner of the machine, and you would know that it is somehow tied to bloodline. Like, the hand scanner doesn't just work for you when you attempt it. It like flashes red. And you remember seeing the dwarf placing his hand on that handprint scanner, and
become a dwarf.
he then pressed the button afterward to deactivate it.
Is it Khanek would ever trade being a dragon to be a dwarf?
I don't really know what we can do about that situation.
Is it still a big gem?
There is still a big gem in it as well, yeah. It is.
Yoink.
Yeah, okay.
The song like, are you done with this, Khanek? You no dice.
Is the purple gem? Wait, so there's a big gem. Are you talking about the purple gem?
This is
No, this one over here. I'm pinging it right now. Yeah, this.
Okay. No, I don't think I can do anything.
All right.
Yes,
And then,
Bosong, you
I just rip it out and like grab it, bring it with me.
sure, make me an athletics check.
I don't know what it does.
We're almost at fucking 40. Oh my god. Yeah, so you just set your meaty hands on it, rip it out of the machine, and it makes a very large chunk, like terrible mechanical failure sounds, you know, as a result of pulling this
The factory's gonna explode.
Gem.
Get out of here.
and we'll actually say, just to illustrate like what the purpose of that gem was, is that the alarms stop sounding when he does that.
Oh, it's a power source.
They don't know we're here.
Should have done this at the beginning.
Alright. Well, we should get out of here before you can. We need to find somewhere hopefully safe enough that we can rest and recover.
There are 2 airships outside, right?
Yep.
Do we need to, or we just want one? Right?
Barry, I try to hack the
stay
system.
together.
All right, I'm gonna go to the hand scanner.
Uh-huh.
I
The
try to
one I
use-
ripped out?
And become a
Well, you
dwarf.
ripped out the gem.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he did.
Oh, all right.
Does hand scanner still work?
The display looks dark now. At this
Well, we
point.
got the power crystal. We need to figure out how to use this crystal.
Yeah.
What if by ripping the crystal out, we can just put it back in, and now it works?
I mean, do you want me to try?
Yeah.
Okay. Basong pulls the crystal out of his satchel. He plops it back into the slot.
Yeah, so when you ripped it, it doesn't. It looks like you ripped quite a few pieces and parts out along with it, and when you set it back in, it doesn't exactly set right. It doesn't look like it was meant to be extracted via ripping and then put back in.
Percussive maintenance check.
Percussive maintenance check? Okay, wait. Sir, no.
Can we try to take these cables from the back and insert the crystal into the cable? And just directly energize the cable.
Okay.
The cost of
I'm
potentially
down.
exploding this facility.
This is gonna be the dumbest party.
You
war.
all explode. TPK, roll the characters. Yeah, go ahead and roll me, sleight of hand.
All right, David.
Me or you? I thought you were the one jury rigging. I'm just holding the crystal.
Oh, okay. I'll do that. Sure.
I'll take
Just
it.
use Thor's hammer and short hammer.
That's quite good for
Sure,
Khanek.
Unfortunately, my hammer doesn't fire lightning. I wish it did.
And while you attempt this, Khanek, you do see the display flicker, but it does not actively stay on, and it just seems to be too damaged to function again. So unfortunately as well, it would appear that it did not work.
I try to
Despite your
directly
best
channel
efforts.
magic into this.
Okay. All right.
By simply magicking it. I'm
You-
kidding.
You're gonna blast
All
her with
right.
magic.
Well, we might want to find another one of these. He seems to have the capability of infusing the Leviathans with great power.
All right. I'm gonna.
Actually, where did the Leviathan go that we destroyed?
Oh, he's right here.
Oh.
Sorry, it should be a 0.
I go to the Leviathan. Is there a power core to this thing?
Is there a power core? Roll investigation.
Very nice. Let's see Paul Allen's investigation.
Yeah, you are able to peer through some of the blade cuts made by Rolland and company, who felled this Warforged, and through the cracks of its armor, surface level, armor, and on the inside you can see some kind of core, though it seems difficult to reach currently, given all
I
of
attempt
the
to reach it.
items in the way. Yeah, right. Go ahead.
Bosong, help me reach the core of this Leviathan. We must find out where the power core is.
Is it a tight squeeze?
Yes.
Okay. Go Shadow Bosong.
Okay.
I just have the shadow squeezing through the cracks and try and look for the core, I guess.
Bro, just summon a stand. Ooh, I just imagined fucking Star Platinum coming out of you, bro.
Yeah,
More or less.
Why? I don't want to alarm anyone, but I want to keep us on track here. They will probably be sending Warforged very soon, and we probably should get out of here.
Good point.
for once I
Carry the
agree with
Leviathan. Let's
Ocerus.
go.
Let's find out how the Leviathan works, and then let's hop on a ship and get out of here. Descend under the clouds and see where we are.
And then Rolland says, I'll get the ship started. And he goes out.
Good call, Captain Zorn.
Okay. Shadow Bosong, you see, is in there, and he has hold of the core, but the core is too big to like fit through the cracks that the shadow came in from, if that makes sense.
This is where well,
Yeah.
now that I know where the core is, I could just brute force it and get to it proper.
Yeah.
So athletics.
Yeah. Yeah, you're able to the chest cavity of the Leviathan open, and Shadow Bosong emerges, holding it cupped in his hands, like this large dynamo core.
Here you go, Khanek. Catch.
I grab it.
Okay, you can add Leviathan core to your infused Leviathan core to your inventory.
Nice. All right, time to board the ship and leave, I assume, right?
Correct. Let's get out of here.
All right, I'm gonna leave them a present. This ship over here has the it has one of those energy crystals on the back, right?
Both of them do, yeah. This one you
Okay.
just can't see because it's off the map.
All right, that's fine. I can make the leap just fine.
To what? This?
Yes.
Okay.
Bosong's running long jump is now 75 feet horizontally.
Perfect. Okay. The song just barb jumps over a chasm and lands gracefully on the, well, I should say with a thump. We'll say that the whole ship kind of like shifts a little bit with your weight, and then it rebalances itself.
Okay.
The ship is completely empty. There wasn't any cargo on it.
If I rip the crystal out, do I instantly start plummeting?
You're gonna have to make the Tai Lung escape if you do this, bro. You're gonna have to jump like take platform.
You don't know how it works, but based on you ripping out the other crystal, you feel like that might be how it works.
I'm just gonna like bring the ship down gently and rip it off once I bring her down here.
Okay.
If I
Bring her down over here.
and then I'm gonna throw the crystal into the hydraulic press and make everything explode.
Okay. Okay, so you're gonna rip the crystal out. Go ahead and make me athletics.
Once it's over here. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Once you've docked it, and you successfully do so. There's a mechanical whirring, and then a chunk, and then silence. And you have this crystal. We can call it Warforged Ship Crystal. And you are.
Yeah, I don't need to add it into my inventory. It has its use.
Yep.
It's about to be used right now.
Throw it into the hydraulic press from outside here.
I hope everyone's already on board the ship. The song leaps to it. Drive, Rolland. Drive.
Okay. Basong, interestingly, when you throw it in there, you successfully do so. And there's kind of like the rhythmic, like chung, chung, chung of the hydraulic press going. But when you throw the crystal in there, you throw it in, and it honestly sounds like for the first few smacks that the crystal is resistant enough to take this hydraulic press without shattering. But eventually you have a few moments. Eventually you would start to hear cracking, and then you start to see from behind you as you guys are flying away a blue light coming from the furnace, and eventually it builds and builds and builds until kaboom.
Nice.
Let's see, do I have something for this?
Holy sound effect, VFX. We just terrorized them. We just pulled a terrorism. We exploded a facility.
Yeah.
We gotta get out of here. Well, okay, so real talk, guys. Now they know we're coming.
Yeah.
We thought we were gonna keep you into the throne room and kill all of them. Now what do we do?
Is Peacekeeper on our side?
Last I know, that machine went with Nikolai to find the whatever thing to destroy them, and they were captured. I retrieved his head, it would seem, and hoped I could use one of these crystals to garner knowledge from whatever remains of this machine's database.
But it's on our side.
From what I understand, although that I would never trust a machine. You never know
Fair
what
enough.
motives they may have. This one, Braylick said, bombed multiple. Well, he destroyed multiple Vidalcan. I don't care much for the Vidalcan, but it seems he did not care much about the lives of most sentient beings.
Right.
Perhaps an alliance of convenience rather than true allyship. Still, it's just a head now, so I'm sure we could bargain with it. It's a stupid
True.
machine, after all. Who's scared of machines? They aren't the same as us. Chosen with souls, able to see the beyond, able to see the strings attached to us. Machines, they have strings, and they are controlled by their programs and algorithms. They're shackled by those who have forged them. We are not. We are free, Bosong.
That's certainly one way to look at it.
Why is everything a speech with you?
I think he just likes the sound of his own voice.
Exactly. I do.
We have to move.
The entire world
we're
will
wasting
hear.
so much time.
We're
with
already
speeches.
flying off, Osiris.
We're doing this while flying, while what's his name
Roll-
is
Roland's flying.
Rolland is.
Rolland is
Does he know how
flying
to
us
fly
beneath
it,
the
or
clouds
he's
to
guessing?
see.
Huh.
Yeah, we're just kind of trusting his guesses.
Rolland is flying this aircraft because we'll say I actually believe he was the one who flew it back in the Utale Nation. You guys found one of these aircrafts on the shores of the Utale Nation, on the northern shores, after you killed Muka the first time. And
Yeah.
And so he's piloting it seemingly with minimal cause for concern. But he's moving pretty slowly. Like you imagine if, to Osiris's point, if something found you guys, it would be difficult to make a getaway.
Okay. So what do you want to do now, gents?
We never got to finish our real talk, guys. Do we just directly assault their capital, knowing they know we're
We
coming?
have we could drop your nuke on them from atmosphere.
Okay, that doesn't do as much as you think it does.
It'd be funny.
Yeah, it's kind of like dropping a bomb, but it's like not dropping a nuke or even a Moab. It's like dropping a big think of like just a big bomb.
This was Roland's
Okay.
battle plan. Where's the rendezvous point with all of the soldiers?
I don't know. Harry, visual-wise, did that ship crystal getting cracked by the hydraulic press, did that like level the mount? How big of an explosion did I make?
It blew up the facility.
Okay.
And through the smoke, you again see these large vessels of the two true, as they were labeled when Khanek
Yeah.
was reading their internal documentation. On top of that, you look around from this ship, reminded where you are. You do have a clear view of Castle Sanctum from where you are. And then kind of in the opposite direction is these Warforged vessels.
Feel as though now they know we're coming. If we fly to Castle Sanctum, they might just hit us with their anti-air. Surely machines and dwarves have programmed something to do that.
You imagine they have anti-air.
I imagine that it must be the case, as I said so.
We'll say...
So guys,
Since
we got to make a choice without Cannon here, and then we got to pin it on him as he made the decision.
Well,
So we
okay.
meet up with the forces.
I don't think that's the
Beaches.
best way to go about it.
Ocerus, you think we should regroup with the forces on the ground? Perhaps that would be a good idea. We don't know how the battle is going, but the problem is we won't win a war of attrition even if we regroup. Unless we truly believe we are so strong we can turn the tides of machine fatigue combat. There is a reason.
I just don't
we
know
tried
this
to
terrain.
attack
I don't know
Reaper.
this area. I don't know what we're in for. We flew in blind and
None of
Right.
us do, says Rolland. But
looking out at the ship, do I see some place that catches my eye? Something maybe a little twinkle, a sparkle.
I spy
A big
with
axe.
my little
I
eye.
mean, from what I've described so far, there's the castle, the vessels, and at the base of the vessels, since you guys are so high up, you would see. Oh, lost David. You would see a research camp. Looks like old and abandoned. It doesn't look like there's anything down there aside from tents, and it kind of looks like a haphazard shop set up at the base of these warforged the size of kingdoms. And aside from that, you would see a canyon that is.
Do we see any battle going on?
Roland, put us down there. That looks like an abandoned place, somewhere we can rest at least, catch our breath for a moment.
Sounds good to me. And he would pilot the ship
You-
down slowly.
I'm impressed with your ability to fly this machine.
I've done it once before, but we were not this high up.
Aewa.
Sounds like one of Cannon's last, right?
Yeah, we should say this is a bad place. At least heal up first, and then make a decision from there.
Yeah, you kind of fly over the dark sands of Sanctum, blowing in the air, even this high up. You all are kind of squinting as you fly to avoid, catching some stray grains in the eye. And there's, the breeze is gentle, but the air is very dead. The fact that you don't see anything still, despite your premonition, Khanek, and despite this, we need to move now, it is eerily quiet. But the air itself is very gaseous and metallic. As you set down at this research site. And as your sharp eyes observed Ocerus, it is entirely vacant. There is not a living or unliving soul to be seen. Many of the tents have actually even blown away in the harsh conditions, but there are still some that remain.
That's the only thing I see as well, Ocerus. Perhaps we descend there. I don't see battle anywhere near here. Rolland, do you know how far Castle Sanctum is from our original battle plans?
I had a chance to get a good look at it from the eastern side of the facility that we were just at. It's, with
I'm
our... Welcome back. How do we lose you?
My Wi-Fi crashed.
Oh, nice. Relatable.
Yeah.
Knock on
Well, were
wood.
you able to contact any of your safeguarding forces on the ground to see maybe a progress update? Hopefully, there's someone on the other line.
We
right.
will.
Khanek, did you hear my suggestion?
Oh,
What was your suggestion?
Did you want to put Peacekeeper in one of the big robots?
Well, we need one that arguably we can figure out that functions, but I don't want to trust this machine until we can get an agreement out of it.
Fair enough.
Moreover, I really just want to know what they discovered in their research, especially since we can't revive Nikolai.
and Khanek, as Bosong asks about Peacekeeper, potential thought occurs to you of these robots and their memory banks. It's possible you would be able to, with his head, see what he saw, if you were curious enough to know. But otherwise, to your point, Ocerus, to your question, rather, Rolland would say, it was never the intention to maintain communication with the other forces in Heritage. At least, that's not what Lady Adelaide told me. Her father before gave us a sending stone to maintain communication, but she did not. So, that's not ideal. But
So we're behind enemy lines with no backup, no communication. I guess we gotta get it done ourselves, baby.
well,
Let's
that
start
was
the
always
camera.
the plan, Ocerus.
No, I'm just. That was out of there.
It's not perfect, but my understanding
Lone
is
survivor
that
Mark Wahlberg.
we're only going to be able to meet up with additional forces or reinforcements once they get here, which I don't really know how that's going right now. Let's roll Parish Presents.
Without Cannon here,
Without Cannon here, damn.
I'll roll for safeguard.
Yeah, I mean, we could roll
Yeah, I was
for
gonna say,
one
it'd
of
be
them.
real
Roll
fun
for
to roll for
safeguard,
safeguard.
baby.
Let's roll for the first of them, which is the Vidalcan of Destiny.
We can save the safeguard just when we can too.
Yeah. The
I
Vidalcan of
don't
Destiny.
want to be called for
Right, yeah.
killing the people.
We don't want to do too much stuff without Cannon. Because he's gonna be butthurt about that.
If they die when he's not here and I roll
Yeah,
it, he's
he's gonna lose his shit. Jack, I believe you rolled for
oh no, Cannon would understand.
the Vidalcan last time.
Correct.
Would you like to do it again?
For Dalton again.
20 and below, they may die. They survive.
Yeah, they're fine.
Rolland would say, something tells me it's doing okay so far.
Jack, did you level up?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
do Tali next.
I can when before combat, but right now it's not pertinent.
We could also do the
Gotcha.
Elves of Haven. I believe David rolled for that last time.
I did. All right, here we go.
20
What's their percent?
20%.
Okay. I'll take it.
They survive. As you guys do touchdown, Rolland pilots this thing down to the research site, and you see all these vacancies and flapping tarps in the breeze. This research site, to reiterate, is at the base of the two vessels that Dr. Aluzad described as quote-unquote weapons of mass destruction. Titans the size of kingdoms. This is what he was referring to. And for the first time, you all are standing at the base of them. And it is truly... Honestly, that doesn't do it justice. you don't believe that there is even a living creature of this magnitude. This makes dragons look like dwarfs. These vessels. And they are turned outward. Because right now you guys on the map, let's go to the map now since you guys are moving around. On the map, you guys are on the very, very north side of Rapture. And in these mountains, you're basically on the edge of the world. Like, you can see the ocean from where you are. The Endless Sea, rather. And these vessels are facing outward. Like, they're facing away from the rest of Rapture. And they are facing toward the Endless Sea. Their palms are kind of like held upwards or facing upwards, and they're looking up to the sky as if waiting to receive the old gods. And for those of you who were there, I guess of the players that are here, it's just Jack, but for the first visit to Bedlam, it would be clear to you that these vessels were actually built in the images of the old gods, because they bear a passing resemblance to the statues in that ice cave you were in with the patron. Which this whole... it potentially raises some questions, because we've covered the motivations of changelings and primordials, roughly, right? But what exactly are the dwarves doing? Like, what is their goal?
Genocide?
Right.
Kill everything.
But is it to destroy the world completely like the changelings? Or is it just to dominate everything? What do we think?
Does it matter?
I think they want to
Ontologically
dominate
evil.
everything. I think they don't want to destroy everything. I think they want to dominate by
They want to
genocide.
rebuild it in their image.
Yeah,
And
like
get
they're
revenge on
builders.
those who destroyed them.
Yeah, they're builders, so I think they realistically want to dominate. They don't want to just destroy for nothing. But that also depends, like, because they were brought back in theory by the whatever the fucks they're called, the Warforged.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, what they maintain after that, who knows?
Right. Zoom. There we go. Yeah. So that's out of character. And in character, you would likely be able to draw those same conclusions just based on your existence within this world and the campaign so far. As there are... That is definitely what you think to be the most likely possibility. You think that the dwarves probably built these vessels to not only receive the old gods, but to entrap them upon their return, and maybe even subjugate them to their own command. Because you don't really know what the fuck these things are made of, but it's not just metal. It looks like there is guar incorporated with these vessels, though it is primarily, mechanical. There are black tubes running up and down these, and it is coursing currently. Though these things are inert, they do appear to be they are active, but they are not. But they are inert, I guess is the way to put it. And just
The song sees the guar tubes in his veins start bulging.
given your knowledge of the dwarves, of the true history of dwarves, not the PC bullshit of the dwarves are the saviors or whatever. You know that they are psycho. They went mad, and their madness drove them to kill every living thing on Rapture that wasn't a dwarf. And still, to this day, the histories, no one really knows why they went mad. So if they're the same, if we can assume they're the same as they were when they were lost to the Cataclysm, then their story doesn't really sound like one of redemption. Like, now that they've come back, they're like, oh, we're gonna save everyone. Like, maybe somehow these robots were meant to combat the old gods upon their return, right? Like, you don't think it's any of that. You think it's not one of redemption, but one of vengeance. That's like, you get strong vengeance vibes from this from these vessels. So and as you peruse this research site, perhaps settling down for a rest. Is that what you think?
What are we feeling, guys?
I need a rest. I'm so low.
Okay.
Yeah.
Long or short? Probably short.
I need a rest as well.
Probably. I don't feel comfortable long.
We don't have time to rest long when there's machines hunting us.
Fair enough.
That's what I was gonna say.
Short rest.
Yeah, so everybody can short rest. While you're walking through this place and resting. Oh.
Probably gonna burn all my hit die.
That is funny.
I can't how I can't roll it.
What do you
When
mean
someone
you
else
can't
is
roll
rolling.
it?
When someone else is rolling, I can't roll it.
Oh.
Guess.
Okay, wait. Will, you go first?
God.
Just spend all of them.
How many
Yeah.
hit dice do you guys get? Don't you only get
19.
20? Oh, 19.
No,
One
what
per
20,
level.
Matt? Yeah.
Have we not rolled
This
that
isn't
yet?
even gonna bring me back to full.
No, I can see that.
There we go. I'm full with 2 to spare.
Nice.
What a disaster rolling hit dice. It was like lagging. I had to click like 4 times to roll once.
I'm close to full.
Okay.
The hell is that?
Looking good. You guys are looking nice and healthy. All right, so I'll do the same for Rolland, I guess. Oh. Can I just do one at a time? Oh, I see. That's how you guys are doing it.
During the rest, you just see Bosong stuffing his face with jerky.
Oh, it doesn't really... There we go. Okay, that's all of his. So in this campsite, while you are short resting, you all would stumble upon a somewhat larger tent that has not yet succumbed to the elements. And inside there is a table, kind of a rickety old wood table, and on the table there is very clearly a large map. And the map is held in
These
place.
are old. They don't have GPS. Let's go.
The map is held in place by a dwarven battle axe that's buried into the table underneath the map. And it is a map of Rapture, like many others that you've seen. But on this map, there are no borders between kingdoms.
Pangea.
The original map.
So you think
What is that
initially,
doing in a campsite out here?
but
Or
instead
their future plans.
it is all one consistent territory, and on top of the map, on the top of it, written in thumbed blood, it says 2 words, Algurin, which, as you know, Khanek, is the dwarven word for sanctum. So, essentially confirms what you think the motivations of the dwarves are. It seems as though this map represents what they intend to do with Rapture now that they have returned.
So,
So they
the
want to take
future
everything.
plans. They do want everything. Wouldn't this be... Surely they know they're being fooled by the clown. I'm curious who the elder entity in this exchange is.
Who knows?
Khanek,
By saying tummy's turning right now.
you're it's like tummy. Oh god. Jack, or Khanek, you as you make this statement, go ahead and roll an insight check about the clown and the dwarves. Okay.
Can I help him?
Yeah. You want to give him the help action?
I do want to give him the help action.
Okay. You muse with him.
I tell him about my own personal experience with the clown and how much I hate him.
Yeah. And
I
how
gotta go
and how
again.
much he made you hate Braylick.
For real.
Ah, so the
And
clown
how I
even
didn't get to do
manipulated
anything.
you.
Yes. It was awful.
And you seem to recall, Khanek, Artyom also being
Correct.
manipulated. You didn't really know what was happening that day because it all kind of was in the chaos of things, but
The clown is quite a strong manipulator.
I think Daelin also got clowned.
he did. Yeah.
Yes.
And you think that the rage of the dwarves and how it is described in history is not unlike the bloodthirsty rage that you have observed in your own party members over the course of your journeys together. You think it is possible that perhaps the reason the dwarves went mad has something to do with the clown.
Wow, that's a lot of logic that my character has thought.
Wait, what if the dwarves were never the type of warmongers we thought? What if the clown was behind it all along?
What if?
I don't think that's going to save them from me.
Correct. However, it would put an explanation forward. I never considered this.
Okay.
So, here's the problem. We still need to stop the clown. And if we
Correct.
can't convince these beings of what's going wrong, we still need to kill all the dwarves, unfortunately.
I'm okay with this.
It would appear that way. Yeah, no, we're making logical conclusions so that all plot threads can be tied up.
You know, when we finished with this, I was actually just going to march through Forlorn and kill every dragonborn I saw.
You're saying that if you didn't meet them?
No, I'm saying after we're done with Sanctum.
Oh. I see. You're not done. You have more business to tend to.
No. I'm going to march across this continent, killing what I need to, and then I'm going to march back and do it all over again.
I see. No rest for the wicked.
Nope.
That's assuming
So
you
God-
survive this whole thing.
Oh no! Don't you know, Harry? I'm title card.
You're the boss. You're the final boss. That's why I've been building you up. You guys are actually gonna have to fight Bosong as the final combat of the campaign.
I get hit with one hold person. Boom, done. I don't have legendary resistances.
The final combat is actually just the clown touching Bosong and then everybody killing each other.
Ouch.
All right, Khanek, what do you want us to do from here? You're team leader now, because I don't know. Rolland seems to be stroking himself over in the corner.
Well, the problem is the clown doesn't show unless it's convenient for him. There's really nothing we can do to force his hand.
Right. So
So I guess we just kill all the dwarves then.
He seemed to like it when we were distracted in other combats.
I
Maybe he'll show up the next time we're in a tussle.
that is true.
I seem to remember Braylick once telling me about a door deep beneath the castle. Is where he...
So we go underneath Sanctum?
It's apparently where he incinerated his friend, the Arakakra.
Right, was
And-
that the throne room he was talking of?
It was just past the throne room. He said it was, well, he said it was nearby, that his party members went one direction to the portal room, and he went the other direction to this incinerator. He described it had dwarvish markings on it, some kind of holy place.
Well, how do we get there? Just trying to...
Well, from where we are behind the castle. It's possible that we're able to enter from the back end, but obviously we'll have to
Sneak there.
try to lay low so that we don't run into any more patrols. But that's only if we all agree, of course.
Does Sanctum have a river flowing through its palace, by any chance?
Not that to your knowledge, no.
Darn.
Most of the channels for running liquids and such are used for kind of forging and lava and molten liquids
I
and
see.
things of that nature. But It's possible there's like an aqueduct. They might have had like an aqueduct system. If that is of interest, but you'd have to look for it.
Okay, so current mission is to infiltrate Sanctum's palace to find this door. That's going to be it.
So we could potentially speak to a clown?
I thought we wanted to kill the clown. I certainly want to kill the clown.
Well, do we know if the clown will show up there, or are we just guessing and hoping that he comes back to the scene of the crime?
We're guessing.
Well, my thinking is that that's where the dwarves will be. What little of them there are, I suppose.
Okay.
One moment. I gotta take an important call. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Then let's do it.
To be honest, I don't really care if the clown is there or not. He seems to phase in and out of the shadows as it suits him. Sometimes I wonder if he's even truly a physical being at all. Whether he's just here to, well, pull the strings, as Khanek alluded to earlier. I do think, unfortunately, there are larger forces that manipulate us, drive us to do certain things. You just nod. I'm assuming there's nothing anybody wanted to do at this campsite before we continued forward.
Okay.
The castle we go. Fuck it.
All right.
To the castle we go.
Better plan than I had.
What was
Yeah,
your
I
plan?
mean, we don't want to just
I
run
didn't
into a
have
bunch
one.
of air
I don't know
defenses.
what I
so-
have.
No, fair enough.
I think
All right.
it would be it's really funny that I'm playing role in this session. I know we just rested, but before we enter the castle, it'd probably be a good idea to find a place to do a proper rest, someplace that is quite hidden, ideally. We don't want to go in there not being fully ready for what awaits us.
Well, Roland, you're a bard. You can pull the little castle, right? Is that has to be like an 8th level spell, right?
Pull the whole castle?
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, isn't that a spell where you can like make a castle appear, like a little
Oh.
house or something?
Magnificent mansion, yeah.
Yeah. Surely he's taking it.
Right. Surely. Maybe Khanek has rope trick for more short
Nope,
rests.
I do not use rope trick. I don't like creating interdimensional
That's for
rope
Boy
space.
Scouts and nerds.
You don't like
No,
you don't-
Jack. Say it outright. You don't like pocket pussies.
I was gonna say you don't like.
True.
Damn, dude, it's messed up. Okay, well, Rolland would board the vehicle, or well, I guess he would.
The faithful mobile.
He did the faithful mobile. He would turn to you guys and he'd say, in terms of traveling without being seen, do we think this is the best way to do it, or are odds better on foot from here?
I mean, push comes to shove, they'll think we're one of them in this, as long as they don't get up close.
Sure. That actually makes sense.
Right?
Roland-
I thought I made a coherent thought for once.
Roland would incredulously kind of board the craft, surprised by your intuition. Do you all board as well, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
I guess so.
Yeah.
Board.
okay? You lift off the ground and begin hovering over the sand. You watch as it kind of disperses off to the side and around the vehicle. You are
jettisoned.
Yes. Jettisoned. Flying across these dark sands. And
You're suddenly hit by a surface-to-air missile.
Rolland would start taking you all through kind of like a plateau area where you're kind of low to the ground and lightly obscured by these plateaus, these large rock formations that jut out on the edge of the northern shore. As you fly along, you look toward the red sky beyond these plateaus, kind of and imagining the conflict that wages on your behalf. Even though this, I guess from a DM's perspective, even though this is Roland's mission kind of set out from his location, that this is still a group, a group task and a group effort. The so-called this cursed prophecy, basically, that has fallen upon you all. I imagine that many of you would be much happier if you were rid of it, in character.
Nope.
And and at least living a different life than this one. And as you pass through these plateaus, you eventually come upon this canyon, actually, Ocerus, that you had spotted before. It was a little bit out of the way from where you were. It was kind of the midpoint between the castle and the vessels of the two true. This canyon kind of would just... There would basically just be more plateaus. They became more dense, and you'd just be navigating through them as you went. Before you enter this canyon, make me perception checks.
That's not ominous at all. Oh, Lord.
Ocerus and Khanek?
Okay.
I'll roll for Rolland, I suppose.
Like a 20. 27.
Nice.
Oh my god.
I love
What's
your
even
dice.
the point of fucking what's even the point of rolling, man?
I don't know anymore.
I
I
can
feel
tell
like-
you it's gonna be a sub 10.
I feel like we could make a compilation of all of Will's just like terrible.
Bro, they're all recorded
rolls
over
and-
the years between
Yeah.
all the campaigns. You can see, there's clips and clips of you rolling the lowest percentage of dice.
Are you at
Yeah.
least better with like IRL dice, Will?
Slightly.
Slightly?
Not well. It depends. Not when it comes to D&D. If it comes to board games and other stuff, then I'm much better.
Interesting.
When it comes to D&D, I am cursed.
It's just the D20, I think.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think it actually is the D20 because I do roll pretty good on the other dice.
But that's the
But I do
most
think,
important one, Willie.
I do think it's funny that if we mathematically did the same thing I did for Michael's rolls, when he averaged like an 18, I would probably average a hearty 7.
Christ. Well, what do we see, Harry?
Khanek and Rolland would both see, nothing like still, eerily vacant, all of these places. Even in the distance, before you enter this canyon, you kind of scan the horizon, and everything is motionless. Only the sand blows across the surface of the ground. And this canyon, while dark and foggy, appears to be out of the way, and perhaps a safe place to rest fully. So Rolland would say, I don't know. What do we think of this place? Is it safe
Roland,
enough?
you
to
have great,
walk around?
specifically today, Roland, you have great intuition, and I will trust your guidance.
That is the most Ocerus thing I've ever heard.
I'm
But,
mending
yeah.
fences. Cannon's gonna come back, and Ocerus and Rolland are gonna be best friends. Thank you very much, Ocerus. I've been meaning to tell you, actually. I have great respect.
Oh, beautiful.
I've always seen you as a rival, you know, and respect goes both ways. Anyway, okay, well, I guess let's set it down and put a camp together. And he would power off the vehicle and
Is there a cloaking device?
for the vehicle. Oh, that'd be sick.
Daelin had
Can I go
closing
invisible?
Do you want to
cloaking
check for one,
device.
Ocerus, on the console?
Do it.
I need like
Dude.
Wonder Woman's like invisible plane. I feel like if they're flying, when we were
Can you
flying, did
scale
we see-
things you can't see? Can you just like throw your scale randomly in there and be like, I scale? And then
Did we see any other vehicles in the air at all when we were flying, or now?
You did not know.
Okay. Maybe they were just starting to build these back up. Maybe I don't know.
This is the Lamborghini of the fantasy world, baby.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You would have seen.
I'm just more so wondering if they're gonna have like spotlights, like helicopters flying around looking for us. pretty much.
You would have
Not
seen
so much
like
helicopters.
unpiloted ones that were kind of docked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but none that were being flown.
None are active yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So you would all, in theory, find a place to within this canyon to hunker down, and we'll say Rolland manages to get a small fire going. And while you're in this canyon, many of you think, obviously, while you didn't see anything before, it's possible that as time passes, that premonition you received, Khanek, of the assassins being sent out, you think it is still correct, but that it will take time for them to find you or to get to that Warforged location. But if they do, likely they will also be traveling somewhat silently, undetected, because of the nature of their task and the nature of their creation. You know, they're very Prowler-esque machines. So, I presume you all long rest with all this in mind?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
I
Okay.
should use my short rest hit die. It's alright. Got
I
a lot back.
am going to use the bathroom, and then we'll pick up in a few minutes.
I guess that's allowed.
Mwah.
Check my comment on the premonition check.
Mm-hmm.
Cannon is so, or Roland is so intelligent today. He knows exactly where to go. And
Man, I hope nothing awful will happen to Cannon. I hope it's just sleeping. I'll feel bad if we're just making jokes.
oh yeah, I hope it's something dumb.
I hope he's just asleep or some shit. I wouldn't want him to actually have a situation. But if he
Yeah.
is just asleep, it's also like, man, how many times has this shit happened before in our...
See, the problem is, I know it's a double-edged sword because we make the sleep jokes, and then there's the gamble that something bad happens, or like he's actually has something serious going on. But then, there's other times where he does sleep, and then if it's like actually happens, he's gonna be like, "Oh, why'd you guys make these jokes? Of course, bro. I actually had like this going on." And it's like, but the past, brother.
But the pattern recognition.
I hope it's nothing. I hope it's nothing.
For sure.
Maybe I was hoping he's just a sleepy little guy.
Here's to hoping.
Because I haven't heard from him since like 3 o'clock. So
He was talking earlier today, wasn't he?
Yeah.
yeah, I talked to him at like 3.
Yeah.
What's up, gamers?
Alrighty. Will we get jumped?
Give me 1 sec.
Oh, he's on Discord now,
Cannon?
so he's good. Yes, there's Bubble Wind.
He's online, yeah.
So hopefully
He's-
nothing bad. He's good to go.
yeah.
I'm sure. I hope he's okay.
So the prodigal son returns.
Welcome.
Hey,
Everything okay?
Son of Safeguard.
yeah, I just took some Benadryls earlier and I forgot how fucking crazy they whipped me out.
You're good, dude. We have.
All right.
been
Now that we know Cannon is safe and nothing is bad, you may continue, my friends. I feel no shame.
Yes.
Say whatever you want.
Safeguard's dead, by the way.
There's no way. The elves would have jumped in for them.
Not
it was
if
really
no one
funny.
wants to use it.
But oh, you guys. Damn, bro, for real?
No.
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
It would have been
Would have been funny though.
yeah.
We actually haven't rolled for them yet. This sounds like a great time to roll the other two parish percents.
Oh,
The soldiers
shit,
of
let me get on.
Safeguard and the Utali Nation. We'll pick up with that when we resume. We just got done. Well, I just took a shit and a piss. We were just on a break.
Oh, nice.
You guys are currently I mean, there were some shenanigans happening at the Warforge, but basically what you need to know is you piloted, like, as Rolland, one of those ships that was on the Warforge map.
Yes.
You flew the party away, and Bosong
Oh,
exploded.
nice.
Exploded the whole facility.
Huge.
And you flew down to the base of those two colossal Warforged. And you found like a little research campsite, and basically found that the dwarves are they plan for world domination. So they don't seem to be trying to destroy the world like the changelings. They think that they can actually trap the old gods on their return to Rapture with these robots and then use them to conquer the world, basically.
What the fuck?
So
They've been around for 5.
yeah,
Think they're hot shit.
they have big plans.
My God.
They have big plans.
They're trying to master Roshi the gods.
Big evil plans.
Yeah, ontologically so. Oh, and another revelation that I wasn't expecting to happen, honestly, but like with how closely Jack was treading on the conclusion, I was like, okay. I mean, the clown. Still, no one knows why the dwarves went insane and started genociding everyone way back in the day. And basically, Khanek
Probably because they were trying to do that shit.
concluded that, or incited that the way the histories talk about the dwarves going mad is very similar to how he's observed other party members going mad, like with Bosong's experience with Braylick and Daelin going on a rampage in the casino, Artyom trying to kill Theramak, I believe. So basically, in terms of the why the dwarves went mad, you think that the clown has something to do with it.
Yeah. Oh. That's
and-
very clown of him to do.
Yeah. Yeah, Jack was like, surely the dwarves know that the clown is...
Also, Monarch is now this golden, like, god thing, humanoid creature that the dwarves are presumably commanding. But Monarch is way different now, canon.
What the fuck?
Oh wait, but now that canon's here,
Uh-huh.
let's roll.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Parish percents, baby. So let's start with
So we
Safeguard.
already rolled. I already rolled one.
Yeah.
Which was fine. 'cause I was
The
like 90,
Vidalcan
right?
and the elves have they're both in the clear. So we have
That's
Safeguard.
just what Dorma's people and Safeguard.
Yeah.
Safeguard rolling.
Ooh, that succeeds.
Ooh.
That was
Whoa.
close. This, soldiers.
Validation
Last time it was a 35. This thing's edging me.
Yeah.
Edge.
So now the Utale of the UN are okay.
Probably have
safe.
not gotten lower than an 80. We'll keep that streak.
Harry's like, I thought more people would be dying.
Nah.
See, now the question is, hold on. If you roll a d20, yeah, there it is.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Jack.
Here's the thing.
I can always
Watch them all die in the
as-
same session.
As the siege continues, we can say that it's getting more and more dangerous. This session only, everybody's perish percents now increase by 5%.
What?
Does destroying that
Whoa,
factory
whoa,
help at all?
What?
Because
Whoa,
we
whoa, whoa,
did
whoa,
super
whoa, whoa,
production.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, Harry,
Whoa, whoa,
we
whoa.
still have like 8 sessions left.
No, we don't.
Oh,
Harry,
okay.
please, as Matt once
Wait.
said.
This session, it'll be 5%.
Why'd you glaze me when I posted that calendar then?
What do you mean,
It's a ramping ramp?
It'll be a ramping ramp.
Why did I glaze
Harry,
you?
even if we have
I'm the
6 sessions
worst.
left, that's 100%.
Why did he glaze you, Kanan? Because I'm the worst.
Everyone's just gonna die, bro.
Ned, post a Ned meme. We're all gonna die.
Pull it together, Cannon.
How are you
Cannon,
going to
next
fix
time.
this, Rolland?
It is statistically
Yeah, that's Ned
likely.
time. We're all gonna die.
What aren't you telling me, Harry?
What do you mean? What am I not? I'm
It's
being
a-
very
it's
transparent right now.
It's choice illusion. Choice illusion. Oh yeah, we'll see if they die. You want
Cannon,
them to
they.
die. You want them to die.
I don't want them to die. I'm saying that this would have happened regardless, and it was
Oh.
something I was holding on to.
Yeah.
No information.
Correct.
Okay.
So,
I can't hit a fat. We're all gonna die.
We're all gonna die. There you go.
There you go. That wasn't fat enough for me though.
Oh, sorry. Anyways.
I don't know, fatter. Hit it.
Bro.
Hit a, we're all gonna die.
Jack's like treating, is like using Cannon like ChatGPT.
Can GPT.
Now do
The
one but
fucking
fatter.
college. The college viewers get fucking the skinny bitch menu.
Yeah.
Right.
So, after leaving the base of those vessels, you flew low, trying to keep everybody, trying to keep a low profile. And you guys eventually ran into this canyon that was shrouded in fog and seemed and dark and seemed to be a good place to actually do a long rest. You guys short rested at the research site, but this is the place in theory for a long rest. Yeah, so you all found a place within this canyon to rest, and
Nice.
you I mentioned that you got like a fire going, and to give people
Unless
some.
Cannon, do you have the mansion spell? I didn't know.
Oh,
Inventory. Feature spell book.
I was like, if anyone has it, you know.
No, I don't.
So I sure as hell do not.
damn! You could have parked your vehicle in the garage.
Never
Cannon,
mind,
do you have
I'm
any more
I'm-
5th level spell slots to try and revive Nikolai?
Oh yeah,
I
you're, still,
would.
you're still carrying.
I do
Nikolai.
have one more
here.
spell slot to try and revive him before the long rest.
Okay, would you like to try?
God, don't
Yeah,
bring
let's-
this fucking guy back.
Let's do
What's
it.
the DC, Harry?
Is it 16?
It is 16 now. Yep.
Okay.
Oh boy,
Or-
oh boy.
Where's-
Because it
Where's
was
Nikolai
it
on
was
the
12,
map? How do I
14,
target him?
and you failed twice. Yeah, so it's 16 now. Yep.
Hot diggity dog.
Alright.
Target that fucker.
I must target. Where is he on the map? Am I crazy?
He is right above you to the left.
Oh.
Does resurrection
right.
magic work on Warforged? Because we could also bring back Peacekeeper.
It's just his head, though.
You.
That's true.
You think that it would if he was fully intact? Yeah. Right now he's a
Okay.
quest
You need to get him
item.
body is the thing.
Is he not right now? Okay.
He's ahead.
He's an item now.
He's a quest item.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna roll a 1d20. If it is a 16 or higher, Nikolai
Aewa.
will breathe. Oh,
Aewa, please. Aewa, please.
do you actually
my
pray?
prayer. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Then I will give you advantage.
Yeah.
boy.
I denounce his suicidal tendencies to Aewa. I'm like, do not let him get away with this sin.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Allow me to be a good ally. Yeah. All right.
Yes. For him to die a natural death.
Here goes.
Oh,
Oh, an 11 and a 1.
12.
oh no.
I was like, oh. This guy sucks.
You ever thought maybe it was his destiny to die?
Nikolai's destiny remains to be dead. It would seem. As his lifeless
I don't
body
even
kind
want
of
to
lifts
eat him
slightly
anymore.
off the sand of the canyon and then sags back into the into the earth.
I hate the earth.
Well, that's where you have been given life, so
It's a good
suck
thing we're on
fat
Rapture.
one.
True.
Let's dig a hole to put Nikolai in.
I think I would smack Nikolai.
You'd smack him.
I'm like, I have 2 more chances with you. Yeah, I just like smack him, and I look at him, and I say like, I have 2 more chances with you.
You're
Okay.
joking. There's no fucking way.
There's the 18 chance and the 20 chance, dude, okay?
You're insane. Those are 5th level spell slots.
Bosong says
Hey, I
this
have
in
like a
character.
week. He's only been dead for 2 days.
Yeah. You do technically.
I don't even want to eat him anymore.
No. He's a Vidalkin. He's like rubber.
He's so
That's how
rancid.
not fresh
True.
he is. He's not. I don't even want. Which is crazy in hindsight. But
I imagine Vidalkin flesh is just kind of like octopus.
Yeah, I imagine they're like rubbery. Gross.
I like octopus, dude.
Good calamari.
that's not bad.
I don't like
We're
raw
getting off topic.
octopus.
Anyways, time to go sneak into Sanctum.
So for this camp situation, please make me a stealth check as a group. Everybody, just roll stealth. There are 4 of you.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. I have a DC in my head.
Just me. Holy
Oh.
shit!
There's no way. He
There's
rolled
no
something higher than a
way.
10.
Technically, I have disadvantage. I bring heavy armor.
Yes.
Let's go.
Wait, but you're not wearing their heavy armor the entire night, are you?
There's no-
You take it. You take
There's
it
no
off,
way
right?
he would have.
Well, I don't know. That's up to interpretation from the DM, I guess.
There's no way he would remember that. He only did that because we were cheering.
Just like he remembered a rule that was unfavorable to him because you were happy.
Yeah.
I remember the disadvantage armor rule. That one's easy. That one you know at level 1.
See, but maybe the sand is so soft that it makes it normal.
True.
What do
It
you think
isn't
about
stone
that
he's clomping around on. That's true.
I'll take it.
So you would all rest. Your campsites in general would maintain this stealth check, this group stealth check that you all have made. As you all rest, make me a perception check with disadvantage for each of you.
Did your voice changer turn on or something, Harry?
Oh, yes, I think so. Hang on.
Oh, that's advantage. Which one's disadvantage?
I mean, he can just take the lower of the.
That's true. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
wow. I have a
You
10
don't do
then.
that.
Did it change
helps,
my voice?
Your mic just sounds compressed.
Oh. I did open
Or
the
just like
program.
It's almost like it's like being gain boosted.
Oh. Yeah, I'll have to figure that out.
Disadvantage cannon.
I'll have to figure that out after the session because I'm on
Roll a second
I'm on
time.
the clean mic setting, which is just the default settings for that. So I assumed it would match my normal mic, but maybe not. I can't just turn it off for some reason. Oh wait.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there we go.
I think with the yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay. I was totally wrong. Never mind. Okay, let's check out these perception rolls. Okay, so Khanek
I
got
only
a
rolled once.
24. Don't you want to roll a second time, Will?
For disadvantage.
Give you a nat
It's
one.
actually a 22.
Oh, wait, now that was a nat 20. Cool.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even have rolled. I wasted my one nat 20.
Gods be
I
praised.
feel so good about that. Okay.
Oh,
You feel good about that?
I do feel good about that.
Bet you do.
That's hilarious. Rolland got a 16. Yeah. What is happening with these rolls here? 16. Bosong got a
10.
10.
This is Khanek, but rolling
I was
I
reading-
rolled persuasion by accident, so it's actually a 22.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What was the highest roll here? 25? 22. I see.
22? Yeah.
Okay. Rolland, as you all reach the end of your final rest, you would be woken up by, well, you would feel a light come across your eyelid.
And you
And-
hear a clown.
When you wake up and look around, you don't see the light anymore. You saw a red flash.
Huh. Sort of. Does it remind me of like the surveying lights from before?
Similar, but thinner. Like the surveyor light seemed quite like a wide berth. But
Yeah.
as you wait a moment, you
Oh,
actually see.
Here, I look for a dot on my body.
There is a dot on your body, and there is
No
a dot
fucking
on.
way.
There is a dot on all sleeping party members' bodies currently.
Maybe it's one of those guys who's take robot technology, but he's actually a human. He's on our side.
It's the snipers. It's Monarch snipers.
It's the assassins.
Oh fuck! Where's the ever
You
smoking
have
bottle when I
you
need
have
it?
one action.
I have
Ice cream.
one.
I'm going to
action.
put a barrier around us. I'll put a wall of force.
You're sleeping.
Oh,
Oh,
apparently only I noticed this.
Yes.
It's just
all right, Cannon. Good luck.
You do see Bosong's bottle on his
Well,
belt.
wait. What did Khanek get as his roll? 24.
I got a 24 and 26.
Oh, that's cool.
what
That's
the
higher than
hell?
me.
Then you're
Oh,
definitely
I'm
awake.
asleep as
Okay,
hell.
sorry. These rolls
Yeah.
confused me.
Wall of force.
I'm asleep as hell,
Dude.
baby.
So,
will keep me protected. I'm asleep.
I will throw up the map.
Yeah, I'll be like,
I guess my action will be to yell to the group. Snipers, get up!
Get
We are
up,
moving!
soldier, we're leaving.
We are leaving.
I can hear you. I'm sleeping.
Well, that rhymed. I can't hear you. I'm sleeping. Get up,
Khanek.
soldier, we are leaving.
I guess I took a Benadryl too.
No,
Oh, Will, you asshole. I'm done.
the lies, the meta. What's happening?
asshole.
Khanek, where do you put this wall of force? Given
Thing to say, Will.
That'd be a funny little line.
I make it. So I'm gonna put it. Wait. So where do I see the lasers coming from? Hold on.
you see the two lasers that are well, you see that the laser trained on you.
How low to the ground are they? I guess is the best thing to say.
It varies.
Like, are they facing us like on the line, or is it like, is it like, it's like they're coming at us from above?
They seem to be coming from above. Yeah, like they're higher than you
How
guys.
far
right now.
above? Okay.
The
Then I
one
will
that is
call the-
pointing at you is 20 feet.
Okay, I will put the wall like above us, like directly above us, flat to our head, so it's like literally like 6 feet, however tall we are, and like we are like, they would have to like get down in order to hit us, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So that's your
nice.
action, and then Rolland
Yep.
uses his action to yell, and this
Oi.
startles Bosong and Ocerus awake, unless Ocerus took a Benadryl.
Is the clown here? When you
We've
wake
got
me up.
enemies.
I'm alert and ready to kill everything.
We've got enemies, Basong. It's Basong in time.
But I haven't had breakfast yet.
You can
That
eat some
is
people on the
breakfast.
battlefield.
I can't eat metal.
You need iron in your diet.
Fair
You're
enough.
weak. Okay.
All right, Bosong props himself up on his hammer handle.
Yeah,
He
what
looks
feat does
around.
David need to eat robots?
What feat does David? Sharp iron teeth or whatever.
Adamantium grills.
Yeah. And as you do this, Khanek, and as you